guys, my name is Lauren Hollows for NOI Education Services, and today we are doing a CRICOS update for learners. So on August 26th, the department removed the concurrent study functionality from a system called PRISM, which is the Provider Registration and International Student Management System. This is the system that creates your COEs or what you guys would know as your confirmations of enrollment that allow you to study in Australia while you are on a student visa. Now, the reason why that this was done is because there was a lot of students enrolling into what were called concurrent enrollments, and then they weren't actually able to meet the obligations of either their study, their finances, or a range of other things. What's really important for you guys to understand as part of all of this is that the reason why concurrent enrollments was initially set up was to allow providers and to allow you guys as students to be able to participate in some of these short courses, things like, an RSA, a first aid course, any of those sorts of short courses that would be allowing you to better get into a, improve your work arrangements while you were studying in Australia. However, what was happening to a lot of international students was that they were signing up with higher level bachelor degree courses. Students were then really struggling with those courses, but were unable to get what's called a release from that college, and then they were going and getting an enrollment in another college, and lower level colleges or colleges with other qualifications such as things like a Cert 3 in commercial cookery was allowing the students to enroll under this kind of concurrent enrollment scheme. Now, during that period, and if you guys are still on what's called a concurrent enrollment, all your obligations exist, but to both of the schools. So you need to keep up on your fees with both of the schools. You need to keep up with your attendance with both of the schools, and you need to keep up your course progress with both of the schools. Now, given that both of those schools also need to be having you in 16 to 20 hours a week in school, doesn't actually allow much time for work. And certainly that can cause a lot of problems, and it has with international students over the last couple of months. So now that this concurrent studies function has actually been removed from the system, if you are looking to get release from your current school, you will need to go and apply for the process of getting an actual letter of release so that you can move to another school, which is more suitable for you. So a couple of things to understand about this whole process. There are a lot of changes being made in the international sector at the moment. Certainly all schools are being looked at in more detail to make sure that they are providing a really good quality of service and support for you guys in line with our RTO standards and also our international student requirements. The other thing that's happening is that they're certainly doing a lot of reviews of agents. Now, one of the recommendations that's come out of this is that RTOs actually shouldn't be working with agents to sell what are called onshore students. And unfortunately, this is actually what happens to you guys a lot when you have agents that are saying, hey, move from this college to this college. It's a way of agents maximizing their the money that they're effectively making off you. And some of those agents are making anywhere from 30 to 50% of your tuition fees. So it's really important that when you do have issues with a school and you are looking to move to another provider, guys, buyer beware. Really don't go through your agents. You should definitely be looking at the schools that are more suitable for you, that are on the ground. If you are an onshore student in Australia, you do not need to be using an agent in order to go and apply for another school. I repeat, you do not need to be using an education agent when you are an onshore student in Australia to be going to another college, okay? That is your decision, okay? And, your agent has absolutely no sway over you in any way, shape, or form. If your agent is telling you that they do have some sort of sway over you, or if you are concerned about that, I strongly recommend that you report them to ASQA, the Australian Skills Quality Authority, and I'll make sure that I put a link in the comment section or description box below as to where you can go about putting in a complaint about an agent, okay, if you're having any issues with that. Now, there are a couple of reasons why it might be that you need to leave your school, okay? If you find that your school is the qualification that you're in is not suitable, you should be speaking to your school first. If you don't think it's appropriate, if it's not a qualification that you're interested in and you are looking to move to a different qualification, have that discussion with your school first, because your school might be able to offer you alternatives. Now, the other thing is that you should always be reading your school's, school transfer and release policies. It's really important to understand the process. You cannot just stop going. You cannot just stop paying. You actually do need to apply for the full process, and you'll need to meet what's called compelling and compassionate circumstances in a lot of cases to be able to demonstrate why your circumstances are as such that you should be allowed to be released from the school to be able to go and participate in another course of study. Okay, so read your school's policy, make sure you're having good discussions with them, go into it openly and honestly. And, I find that the vast majority of schools are relatively reasonable on this. If the only thing that you're trying to do is get like a break on your fees or something like that, then, it's not an honest game, and you're likely to be told no. And that's, fair and reasonable of the school too. Okay, guys, that's a little bit about it. What I'll do is I will also link to the update from the department about them removing the concurrent studies update. If you have any questions, by all means, drop them below. My name is Lauren Hollows for NOI Education Services.